Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Aubrey. And today we're doing our, I don't know, I keep seeing it, it's like the mid-year book mid-year freakout tag, book tag. Yeah, that's what we're doing today. So we're just gonna sit and yap about books for I don't fucking know how long. So I don't know, get comfy, get a snack, get a drink, and I guess let's get into it. We have a lot of questions to get through and a lot of books to get through because I'm indecisive. So what I probably should have picked of one book is like 3 or 4 or 5. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Okay, but I want to start out talking about my reading goal, how I'm doing, how I'm feeling about that, and I'm fucking killing my reading goal, you guys. To be honest, I did set my reading goal hella low. I think I've said this in other reading vlogs and stuff that like sometimes when I set my goal really high, I'm like, oh my god, I have to hit it like ASAP. Like I literally have to hit it as soon as fucking possible, which means that I have to read the smallest, quickest, fastest books I can get through. And I hated that. I hated that because I wasn't reading. I am a fantasy lover. I love fantasy. And I love big fantasy series and I love big, thick fantasy books. And so I have a lot of those that I was not reading. So this year I set my reading goal for 50 so I could be less stressed about it, because you shouldn't be stressed about your reading goal. So yes, I set my reading goal for 50 and so far I've read 64 books this year. I'm not bumping my reading goal up. I thought about it. I'm not touching it. I'm very happy that I've hit it and that is like out of my mind, and now I can read whatever the fuck I want to read and just be not anxious about it. Yeah, so I've hit my reading goal. I've read 64 of 50 books, so that's great. The majority of the books I've read this year surprisingly have been fantasy, which like I said is like a new for me, because with me being anxious about hitting my reading goal, I was only really reading romance books because they're so short and I can blow through them very, very quickly. So this was like, I'm very happy that I'm reading so much fantasy this year. So I don't really have anything else to say about it. I don't know how to figure out my average rating or whatever, and I'm not going to go through and count the books and the genres that I read because I don't want to. So let's get into the actual fucking questions. So our first question is best book so far of 2025. And that hands down without a fucking doubt is a book that I will never fucking shut up about. Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. Okay? Put this bitch on a fucking pedestal. This is my number one. This will be my number one for years to come. Toxic lesbian vampires. Toxic lesbian vampires. I can't. I have loved V.E. Schwab's writing for a very long time. This was just like the fucking, I don't even know. This is like when you think that someone can't get any better at doing what they do, and then they just shock the shit out of you and they're like, actually, I can. That's what V.E. Schwab did with this fucking book. Like after The Invisible Life of Beverly Rose, like that is top tier for her. That is her best book. I don't think she can get any better than that. And then she was like, actually, here, read this. And I was like, okay, let me put my fucking foot in my mouth because I'm talking out of my ass. This was phenomenal. This was fucking phenomenal. I'm literally not going to say anything except this was phenomenal, and then it's Toxic Lesbian Vampires, because you need to go into this blind and just love it. I will say that there is a good bit of feminine rage in this too, and I ate that up. I ate that the fuck up. Moving on. The next question is best sequel. I have a couple for this. The first one is Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli. Ciccarelli? This is the sequel to Heartless Hunter, where it's like witch times witch hunter, and we follow Rune and Gideon, and Rune is the witch and she is like hiding in plain sight because like witches are a no bueno. No bueno in this world. You're a witch, you're gonna get dead. Gideon, head of the head of like the witch hunting party. I don't know what you want to call it, but he is like the head witch hunter. Like the witches are terrified of him because he is very, very good at his job. He's very good at his job. And Rune is trying to just skate under the radar and not get found, and so to do that she has to marry someone. And so she's like, huh, let me maybe marry Gideon, because like I'd get all the inside information. No one would know, because like I'm marrying the head of the witch hunting community, and therefore I want him to hunt the witches. I think this was the perfect conclusion to the series, because it was kind of like we ended off on a cliffhanger that was fucking bonkers, and then it was like hardcore enemies to lovers after that, and it was so good. It's very cat and mouse in this book. It was very cat and mouse in this book. Gideon chasing Rune, Rune running away from Gideon, and it was amazing. It was delicious. This was just very, I love this conclusion. I can't say a lot because obviously it's a sequel. It's a sequel. Don't want to spoil it, but very, very good. I loved how this ended. I loved how it wrapped up. I really liked it. The next one is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. This was very shocking to me because I had heard a lot of really bad things about the sequel from almost everyone I talked to, or everything I've seen online was like, oh, like the sequel is not as good as Ninth House, like I didn't like it, like it was just mid, like blah 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 blah, this that the other, wasn't good. And I picked up the sequel thinking, okay, this is gonna be ass, like, but hoping, praying that it wasn't gonna be ass, and I loved it. I fucking loved this book. It was so much more fast-paced compared to Ninth House, because like obviously with Ninth House, the first book in a fantasy series, you get a lot of world building and you get a lot of info dumping, especially because with how like in-depth Leigh Bardugo goes in this series, like with like Yale and the secret societies and like all of like the magic and like the magic system and everything around outside of like the characters. So being able to go directly from the ending of Ninth House into this, knowing everything you learned in Ninth House, this was so much, not better because I know they're on par for me, so I wouldn't say better, but like it was just so much easier to understand and easier to get into and pick up. And I felt like this book just kept me hooked from the beginning. Like I will say, I think I said this because I did read this in a reading vlog, but I will say that the plot was a little bit repetitive, but I wasn't too broken up about it because of who like the repetitiveness was around, and so I can't really say anything again because it's a sequel, but I wasn't like super upset with the repetitiveness. Like a little bit it was kind of like, okay, how many times are we gonna do this, but then it was also like, how many times are we gonna do this before we figure it out, because it kept me on my toes is what I'm trying to say. It 100% kept me on my toes even with the repetitiveness of the plot. But yeah, I don't know, I love this and everyone hated it. I think I gave this like 4 stars, I don't know, but this was good. Our next question is new releases I need to read, and let me do the 2 that I don't own but I need to fucking read ASAP, and that is Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston, her new release. I think this came out just last month. Yes, so Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. Yeah, but that book, her new release, I have heard such amazing things about it, and just the fucking cover is so cute, and I've only read 1 book by Ashley Poston. I own all of her books, but I've only read The 7-Year Slip, and oh my god, that book fucking changed my brain chemistry. I can't, because I'm on a book buying ban, and I'm gnawing at the bars of my enclosure because I want to read that book so fucking bad. I need it so bad. And then the second one is also one that I'm like fucking foaming at the mouth for, and that's Overruled by Lana Ferguson. That one came out yesterday, July 1st. It came out yesterday, and I didn't know it came out July 1st until I was like browsing, you know, the Goodreads, and it was like, oh, this book came out today, and I was like, what the fuck, because I need that book in my bones. I need it in my fucking bones. I love Lana Ferguson with everything in me. But yeah, okay, and then getting into the ones that I actually own, starting off with Passion Project by London Sperry. I know nothing about this except that it's set in New York City, and everyone says like New York City is like a character in this book. I think that's this. Is that this? I don't know, but I have heard really good things about this, and I've been obsessed with the cover ever since I like saw it when it was like being released and people were reading it, and I was like, for some reason my brain was just like, oh, you need that right now, you need that right fucking now, go get it right now. So I did. And then have I picked it up? No, but I want to, because look at it. Like, what the fuck is that? Gorgeous, she's stunning. But yeah, I don't really know anything about this, but I need to read it. Enigma by Ruinix. I'm obsessed with Ruinix. I am. I've only read 1 of her books, and it was Gothicana, but this gives Gothicana. I don't think they're connected. Hold on, look at that fucking fan art. Kill me now. But yeah, I don't think they're connected, but this just gives hardcore Gothicana vibes, and I'm fucking here for it because I ate up Gothicana. That was a dark academia, dark romance, spooky, slightly paranormal like book. Chef's kiss. I ate it the fuck up, and this literally gives the same exact vibes as that. Like, you can't tell me. Literally says a tale of dark romance, and it's set in a university. I'm gonna eat this the fuck up, but I need to read this. This came out, I don't even remember, but it came out a while ago, and I told myself I would read it as soon as I bought it, and of course I didn't, because I'm nothing if not a fucking liar, apparently. And then don't yell at me for this one, okay? Please don't yell at me for this one. I know, okay? The Night in the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This is another one that came out and I was like, oh, as soon as it comes out, I'm gonna go and buy it. I'm going to pick it up that night. So did I go and buy it as soon as it came out? Of course I did. Did I pick it up that night? Of course I did not. Because it's here on this list of things that I still need to read. So that's great for me. Now, what I know about this is that I just know that this is a gothic fantasy book and everyone said it's amazing, and I've heard that we have a talking gargoyle that is our comedic relief character and his name is Bartholomew, and I want to meet Bartholomew, okay? I want to meet him so fucking bad. So The Night in the Moth will be happening like literally soon, literally so soon you don't even understand. Most anticipated release of second half of the year. So first one, Made for Each Other by Lynn Painter. I am obsessed with Lynn Painter's adult romance novels because I haven't read any of her young adult. I do own Better Than the Movies by her, which is her young adult like rom-com, but I love all of her adult rom-coms. I've read all of them. So Made for Each Other, I have literally been foaming at the mouth for it since I figured out that she was writing it. Like since then, I have been counting down the motherfucking days for that book. I'm so fucking excited. The next one is Alchemized. This is the traditionally published version of Manacled. I never read Manacled because I can't get behind Draco Hermione fanfic for some reason. I just can't. Like in my head, I don't like that. I don't know why. Do I understand the appeal? 1000% yes. But yeah, so I'm waiting for the traditionally published version so I don't have to be like, oh, Draco and Hermione. No. But hopefully I can still get the full impact of the story, even though it's going to be switched a little bit, which I'm so excited for. But yeah, so Alchemized, I'm ready for it. I'm actually genuinely terrified of it though, because the amount of people that like are severely emotionally damaged after they read that is scary. It's actually kind of freaking me out, but I'm excited. And then the last one is What Fury Brings by Trish Levenseller. What Fury Brings by Trish Levenseller. Now this is her adult fantasy debut. Is it romantasy? It might be romantasy, but it's her adult debut. Like she doesn't write, she writes YA. And so this is her first time writing adult. I'm so fucking ready for it. I've read almost everything by Trish Levenseller. I think I've read everything except 2 of her books. And so What Fury Brings, I am so fucking excited for it because I love Trish Levenseller's writing. I love it so much. And I also just love an adult fucking fantasy book. And so I'm hype as fuck to see what she does with her debut adult fantasy. Very excited for that one. Biggest surprises of the year. Starting off with Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I'm not going to say a lot about this because I did talk about Hellbent a lot and I read both Ninth House and Hellbent in reading vlogs. So I was genuinely shocked by this because I have had this book on my TBR for probably over 2 years. And I was thoroughly convinced I was never going to pick it up because everything I'd heard people say about it was like, oh, it's very like hard to read, it's hard to understand, you're gonna be very confused, you're not gonna get it, like you really need to like be thinking all the time when you're reading this, like it's just hard to get into. And so I was like, okay, probably never gonna pick it up. And then I ended up actually picking it up, and yes, was everything that everyone said about this correct? 100%. Was it slow to start? Yep. Was I very confused? Yep. Did I have to be paying attention the entire time? Yep. Did I have to reread multiple things? Yep. Did I still eat it up? Yes, I did. Which was shocking because the way that I was in fact confused, the majority of this book until probably after the 50 to 60% mark when things like finally started clicking, and it's like, did she write it that way? Did she write it purposefully like that? I don't know. I hope she did because that would make me feel a little bit better, but everything didn't start clicking until, yeah, probably after the 50 to 60% mark. And then I was like, oh, I understand now. Me and my brain have clicked in together. We're on the same wavelength now. Me and this book understand each other. And yeah, the ending, I don't even know, just everything about this gave exactly what I needed to. I have been feeling this year very Summerween vibes, okay? And this fed me because this was gothic, this was dark academia. This is my first dark academia book also, and so this was stunning. Gothic, dark academia. Yale secret societies were something that I never thought that I would enjoy, and it was amazing. I loved the Yale secret societies. It was so incredible. Just her aspect of the secret societies was so amazing. And like how fucked up they actually all are. I was like, okay. Corrupt secret societies at a fucking prestigious rich college. I loved it. I loved it. Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison. Now this is another one that I read in a reading vlog and I lost my ever loving mind. I lost my ever loving mind reading this book. I don't know what it did to me, but I was feral for this book. It was actually insane. This is the first book I've ever annotated. I did annotate a lot of it and I was very happy and I love this book. So this I read after I read Barrier Bones and Midnight Soil, and like I told you, Barrier Bones and Midnight Soil has some aspects of like feminine rage, and after that I was like, oh, I need more feminine rage. And so I went and I grabbed this. I got this recommended to me actually for the feminine rage aspects, and this did everything I fucking needed it to do. It was perfect. It was so fucking perfect because it's werewolves, it's feminine rage, it's like the relationships between mothers and daughters and sisters. And then there's a subplot of romance in it that was so phenomenal. It was insane. That was so incredibly good. I was genuinely flabbergasted because I did not go into this. Well, one, I thought this was a fucking sapphic romance. There was not. This was hetero. But romance wasn't even like the fucking main point of this. But the subplot that we got was amazing. It was fucking amazing. I can't even. So that goes into my new favorite authors, and that is 100% Rachel Harrison. Rachel Harrison is definitely one of my new favorite authors. As soon as I finished Such Sharp Teeth, I did immediately go back to the bookstore and I picked up her book Black Sheep. Haven't read it yet, but I'm going to, and I cannot wait because I know like she has a vampire one and it's called So Thirsty. I will be picking that up immediately as I'm waiting for it to come on paperback. Her new one, Play Nice, I will be picking that up immediately as soon as that releases because I love Rachel Harrison now. Her writing and just what she does in her books, like this isn't a big book by any means, but oh my god, the impact it had on me was insane. And so Rachel Harrison is definitely one of my new favorite authors ever. And then also Rachel Gillig, which, are we surprised? I don't know. We're on a running theme with Rachels this month, or this year. I'm liking the Rachels, because One Dark Window was definitely is now in my god tier, like, fantasy series ever. I love the Shepherd King duology. It was amazing. So those are my two new favorite authors. And then my new favorite character, this is characters for me because my new favorite characters are in fact every toxic lesbian vampire that is in this fucking book. Sabine, Charlotte, Alice. I'm in love with all of them. I think about them daily. They are my new favorite. I will like literally put fan art because someone throw me out a fucking window. I am in love with them so much. Oh my god. Okay, a book that made me cry. You can also go watch me bawl about this book in a reading vlog. And I do, in fact, bawl so hard. This is Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stevens. Now, this book had such a fucking emotional impact on me. It was crazy. It literally says on the cover, they've loved each other in 1,000 lifetimes. They've killed each other in every one. The female main character doesn't know why. They do it, but every time our main characters meet, when they turn 18, one of them kills the other, and when one of them kills the other, they both die, and then they get reincarnated in a different world as different people, different genders, and that just repeats their whole, like, for fucking ever. They reincarnate and they kill each other over and over and over and over, and just getting to see their past lives and then being in love and then having to like slaughter each other pretty much. Evelyn and Arden. So when we're in Evelyn and Arden's main timeline, Evelyn does not want to leave because she loves her sister. She loves her life right now. She loves just what is happening in her current timeline, and she does not want to like die and leave it behind. Also, her sister is sick and she is the only one that can save her sister's life, so she does not want to leave. And so we kind of obviously go through their current timeline with them and trying like the back and forth of like, please don't kill me, like I want to be here, and Arden being like, well, I'm actually gonna fucking kill you still. And it just kind of seeing that and then figuring out with Evelyn why they are in the place that they are was fucking jaw-dropping. was fucking jaw-dropping, and this made me like sob so hard, so fucking hard. And the next question is a book that made me happy, and that one, it goes to The Love Haters by Catherine Center. This is one of the only rom-coms I've read this year, and I ate it up. I loved it. I love Catherine Center's writing. I've only read 2. This is only my 2nd book by her. I read The Bodyguard by her, but this is the perfect cute summer rom-com. Like, you should pick this up during the summertime because it was perfect. It was just like quick, it was funny. All of her books have like such comedic relief in them, and then like just the tension between the main characters. Oh, it was good. It wasn't it wasn't anything crazy, it wasn't anything super special, but it made me happy. It made me like, it was good. I liked it. It was fun. It was funny. It was like, I loved our main characters. I didn't really like one of our side characters. He pissed me the fuck off, but gotta have a little bit of balance. So I don't really have a lot to say about this because it was just, it was cute. It was a cute summer rom-com, and it made me happy, and I liked it. Getting into the most beautiful books I've purchased this year. I'll start off with Watermoon. I haven't read this. Have not. I've heard great things about it, but she's stunning because look at that. Look at that. And then look at that. Because what is that? Because who let you do this? Like, what the fuck? And then on the inside you get instructions on how to turn this into a fucking origami boat. Because it's this dust jacket. You turn the dust jacket into an origami boat, which, will I be doing that? No, because I can't do origami. I've tried, I suck at it, but it's so stunning. Okay, I haven't read it. Haven't read it yet. Are we surprised? No. But I've heard really good things about it, and I will be reading it soon. Everyone says that this is like a Studio Ghibli movie, and I'm like, love those. Sold. Let me pick it up. I will eventually. Next one, I haven't read any of these books, you guys. I am going to tell you that right now, so don't be mad. Don't be mad, okay? Because the next one is Fairy Tale by Veronica Lancet, I think. Lancet, yes. And just, the black and grays on this, you can't really see it very well on the camera, but like this, like, statues, the faces, oh my god, I'm in love with it. I am in love with it. I don't know what this is about. That's okay though, because I've heard really great things about it. I'm pretty sure this is just a dark gothic fantasy, like dark gothic fantasy, and I'm very excited. She's thick though. She's not that big. She's only 98 pages, 698 pages, so not that bad. Then I had to go with Lucy Undying by Kiersten White. I just love how this fucking looks. Like, there's nothing really crazy special about it. It's just, I don't know, I love her. I love the fucking like wolf faces and eyes in her hair, like the little blood dots, her dress, how pale she is. I love it. The fucking bats, it's crazy. I like it. There's nothing like super special about it, but I really love this. I really love it. Okay, then the next question is books I need to read by the end of the year. Now, I kind of just picked what to do with this one, so I did kind of series that I want to read by the end of the year. And starting off strong, we have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I say series, but this isn't really a series. I mean, this is a part of a series, and I need to read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes so that I can read Sunrise on the Reaping, because the amount of things I've heard about that book is crazy. The amount of good things I've heard about that book, insane. The way people cry to Sunrise on the Reaping, I just need to know. So my goal this year is to read A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes so that I can read Sunrise on the Reaping, especially because I want to be able to read them before the movie comes out in 2026. So I have to read them this year. Fingers crossed that I actually fucking do it. And then the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. I have heard that this is better than the Mortal Instruments series, and I have recently started to read through Cassandra Clare's, like, that whole universe. I'm doing it in her recommended reading order. And so I read the first 3 books of the Mortal Instruments series. I then need to read, it's like the Magnus and Alec book. I think it's like the Red Scrolls of Magic or something like that. I need to read that one, and then I can go into the Infernal Devices series, because I have heard this is the best series in the universe. And so I'm very, very excited. And so this is on my list of things that I need to get through, which it shouldn't be so bad because it's only 3 books, so it's not like crazy long. So again, fingers crossed that I actually do it. But yeah, so then the next series is one that I was really excited for because they all got like re-released traditionally this year, and I have been like threatening to start reading them for a while, but I want to do it in a reading vlog. And that series is the Zodiac Academy series. Now there's only 6 out right now that have been traditionally like republished. There's 9 in total, maybe 10. I don't know, I don't really know how it works with all the novellas and shit, but I have the first 6 that are out, and I'm going to start reading them this year. I don't even have to get through the whole series this year. I just want to start it. I need to know. I feel like this is a series that I am going to love so much, because I love big fantasy series, and I haven't read a huge fantasy series since I read Throne of Glass. So I'm very excited, and this is 100% on the list of things that I need to read before the end of the year. Like I said, maybe not the whole thing, but I need to at least start it before the end of the year. What books do I want to reread this year? And I have a couple. And so the first one is This Savage Song and the This Dark Duet. V.E. Schwab, when she was publishing under Victoria Schwab. These were my first books that I read by V.E. Schwab, and they were life-changing. They were life-changing. The way that I sobbed at the end of this, and I haven't read these in probably close to 3 years now, and I still think about them all the time. So these definitely need to reread them. I try and do 1 reread a month, so maybe I'll do this one this month because I loved it so much. This series, this is like a dark urban fantasy series by V.E. Schwab. It's young adult, but oh my god, the impact that this had and like just how good this series is was kind of insane. And I, like I said, think about it all the time still. This is one of her most underrated series that it needs more hype, because I don't ever see it anywhere on social media, and I need to, because it's like so fucking good. Staying on the V.E. Schwab kick, I will be rereading Burial of the Midnight Soil, because I have now heard after I read it that there may be little Easter eggs from Addie LaRue in this, and I need to know. I wasn't ready for that. Didn't comprehend it. Didn't catch any of that the first read through, and now I'm like in a feral panic of I need to know, because Addie LaRue is one of my favorite books of all time as well. So I will be rereading it. And also, when I read it, I read the art copy, and I've heard that the ending changed. I don't think it changed a crazy amount, but I still would love to read it, and I really want to annotate this book. So I think I'm going to do that, and I'm rereading this. And then a hefty one, but I want to start my Throne of Glass reread. I will be rereading it. No, I'm actually thinking about rereading it in a different order, because there's a reader at my job, and she said she read it. I think she read Assassin's Blade 4th, and she said that like she lives by that. She said it was great, and when I read it the first time, I read it first, and I live by that order. But I told myself if I ever reread it, I would reread it in a different order. So I think I'm going to try either that one, or I think my best friend read it 3rd. So I'm going to do one of the different reading orders of Throne of Glass and see how I feel about it. But I really want to start my reread of this. I did start my reread of ACOTAR, which I know I want to continue because I fucking love ACOTAR, but Throne of Glass is god tier. This is over ACOTAR for me. This is better than ACOTAR. So if anything, I would prioritize this over finishing my ACOTAR reread. Sorry about it. Second to last question is a book I enjoyed with mixed reviews, and that one is A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I don't understand where the mixed reviews come from. I don't, if I'm being so honest, because I don't know. I love this book. It was so good. Everyone's like, oh, it wasn't romantic, it wasn't like, it's not like what she writes, and it's not like what she's written, but it is still fucking romantic. It is romantic, and people are like, oh, I didn't like Margaret. Like, oh, I didn't like Margaret's story, and I didn't like seeing the back and forth between like, oh, Alice and Hayden, and then Margaret, and then like, I loved it. I loved everything about this book. It hit all of the normal Emily Henry marks that I wanted it to. The yearning between the two main characters, the romance between the two main characters that everyone says is non-existent. Excuse me? It's literally so blatant, in your face, blaring. It is there. It is romantic. It was phenomenal. I love this book so much. And I really don't understand the hate on it. I don't, but I know that people hate it, and I mean, to each their own. Everyone has their own opinion. My opinion is that this book, 8. You can never make me hate that book. Never. And then 5-star predictions for the second half of the year. I have 3, and they're all books that I own, because again, book buying ban, because my TBR is way too fucking long, okay? The first one is Nocticadia by Carrie Lake. I am nothing if not a follower. I am jumping on the Carrie Lake train. I need to try it. I need to know. So my favorite booktube like creators have read her and loved her. Heather McLary loves her. Laura reads. She loves her. I think I'm pretty sure Emmy Reads really loved this too. And after they all loved it, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna love it. Let me pick it up. Let me do my due diligence. And so I am fairly positive this is gonna be a 5-star read for me, because this is I'm pretty sure this is a dark academia, dark romance. I don't know if there's paranormal aspects in it. I don't think there is, but I think there might be. I don't really know. I just know that it's dark academia, dark romance, and I'm very excited. It's gonna be my first Carrie Lake book, and I think it's gonna be 5 stars. I really don't know what else to say. I don't really know what it's about, except yeah, that it's a dark academia, dark romance. Predicted 5 stars. Now this one is a little, I don't know, but The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Now, should I be putting this on this list? Probably not, because I don't like historical fiction. I don't. But everyone I've talked to has said that this book is life-changing. And also, I just recently talked to my aunt, and she was like, oh, this doesn't read like a historical fiction so much as like it just kind of it's like a story. It doesn't seem so much historical, and that is what I don't really vibe with. There's a lot of historical fictions. So now I think that this is going to be a 5-star. I've never read anything by Kristen Hanna, never ever. I'm gonna start with The Nightingale. Everyone says it's amazing, everyone cries. I have FOMO, and now after what I heard that it doesn't read like a historical fiction, I am going to go out on a limb here and say that this is going to be 5 stars. We will see though. We will see. And then our last and final book for this video that I think is going to be a 5-star read is Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. Now this is going to be another new to me author. I have never read anything by Brandon Sanderson. I have only heard phenomenal things about Brandon Sanderson though. And this one, I have heard that this is like a very summer fantasy book. Like, it's a fantasy book, but it's like gives hardcore summer vibes, and I was like, okay, summer outside, summer in the book. I think I'm gonna love this. And yeah, this being my first Brandon Sanderson book though, I'm kind of scared. I don't know what it's gonna be like. This is like part of his like secret works project though. It's a standalone tale set in the Cosmere universe. Now I think the Cosmere universe is that Mistborn. I feel like it's Mistborn. I feel like it's all of his books. I feel like all of his books are connected somehow in the same fucking universe, but I don't know. But this is a standalone. I am very excited for it. I think it's going to be 5 stars for the sole fact that it's by Brandon Sanderson, and this being my first book by him, it better be 5 stars, honestly. He better live up to the hype or I'm going to be violently disappointed. I really want to read the Mistborn trilogy. I've heard really amazing things about that, but I'm going to start with this because I feel like this, like, I know it probably fits in somewhere in like the universe, like, oh, you should read this after this and before this and blah, blah, blah. But because it's a standalone, I don't give a fuck. So I'm going to pick it up now, dip my toe, the very tip of my toe, into the Brandon Sanderson universe and see how I feel about it. And then, I don't know, go from there, see what the fuck happens, see if I like him, if I hate it. But yeah, I'm predicting this is going to be 5 stars because it's by Brandon Sanderson. Like I said, if it's not, I'm going to be mildly disappointed. Yeah, so that is it. That wraps up that probably way too fucking long of me yapping. But it was fun, and I had fun, and I really like yapping about books, so I can't complain. But yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!